and stand tall. So you're gonna stand back in the wall. Okay, you need a wall, obviously. And then you can also have two blocks. So I'm gonna get my blocks just so you won't have to see me leave. So a wall, two blocks. It's pretty easy. If you don't have a block, you can use a dictionary, you can use a soft ball. If you have, some of you will have a bender ball, right? You can use a bender ball. This could be very interesting, squeezing that between the inner thighs. I'm going to use my block, and I'm going to use it on the most narrow distance. So push the elbows into the wall and just roll forward and back and roll forward and back. This is going to feel as if bridge pose, Setu Bandha, and deep Utkatasana, awkward chair pose. It's as if they had a love child, and this is it. You know, you're pushing into the elbows. Let's do that 4 more times. 3, 2. Now, keep the feet, I'm gonna say like 2 feet away from the wall, but the hands on the wall, move the hips back into the wall. So you'll have this little bit of block extending forward, right? Then bring your chest forward until it embeds against that block. You might have to lift the block up a little higher. I'm looking for the block to come into the belly, a little bit into the belly. And that's where you have your second bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, the lifting up and in. So this is also going to help you for your jumps. So push the butt into the wall and then stretch the hands forward and hold. Now the inner thighs are still pushing and pushing into that block. Stay as you are, you're perfect. I'm going to show you from the side. So your knees are bending, your butt is against the wall, and then you're stretching your hands forward. Now sometimes it's hard to identify deep belly core in Utkatasana. The block is here to keep you honest. So you're pulling the belly up and in, and then see if you can go just a little bit lower. And we're just going to hold for 5 breaths. Utkatasana against the wall, block between thighs, working into the deep solar plexus. So that's the area around the lowest ribs and into the diaphragm. 4 more breaths. You can do it. It's a lot on the quads. 3, 2, 1. Come and stand. Stretch the arms up, lift up, lean back. And then let's try that again. Bend the knees, your back will be flat onto the wall. Push the elbows into the wall and move the hips forward and away. Can I get like 5 more times? So you're pushing the elbows in and swinging the hips forward. Let's do 4. Those of you who can, 3 more. Lift up onto the heels, right? Lift up onto the balls of the feet. So the heels are floating. And then stay. Squeeze the shoulders into the space behind the heart. Keep the knees together. This is pure fire, right? So you're going to feel such intense grip in the quads. You're doing so well. Yeah. And then lower the heels. Put the hands back onto the wall. Move the hips back, low Utkatasana, fingertips forward, hold. Now, is the belly receiving the Heimlich maneuver from the block? So maybe you're gonna have to lift that block up a little bit so it really goes into the belly. Now take your left hand, hold your right wrist, pull your right elbow to the left side of the block or your knee, and put your left hand on the wall behind you. From here, start to straighten your legs. Right hand floor or left ankle, left hand up and twist. So again, you have just enough lean into the wall. You're fine, stay as you are. Just showing you what is happening on the other side. So you're keeping your back really stable. because it's against the wall. And then keep that twist. And then come back, bend your knees again, elbows into the wall, and you're just going back and forth. Back and forth. Maybe you lift your heels, maybe your feet are flat. Whatever you do, I'm gonna love it because it's midday where I am. You could have taken a shot of espresso, right? You could have a coffee, but by doing this in the middle of the day, your thighs are, you're gonna be so much stronger, yeah? My goal is always to make you so strong, so that's where you're squeezing the block in between the thighs. You can be strong enough to choke someone to death in between your legs. Always a good thing. Yeah, really important. And then keep the butt on the wall. Stretch the hands forward, hold. Prayer hands, left elbow, outer right edge of block, or left elbow, outer right edge of right thigh, and then start to straighten the legs. Lean the left hand to grab right ankle, and then twist towards the ceiling. And again, when we twist, sometimes our hips scissor and become a little bit asymmetrical, but this block between the legs, as well as the wall behind you, gives you such beautiful feedback. Let's try this one more time. So squeeze in. Let's take the block to the second widest week. Because it's gonna be Valentine's Day. Yeah. And you really want nice inner thighs for Valentine's Day. Nobody wants stale Russell Stover chocolates. They just don't want that. Let's just, if you're strong right in here, that says I love you. That doesn't say I went to the drugstore at the last minute and just grabbed some old stale candy. This says I love you right here. This is your Valentine's Day goodness. Because you're squeezing in, that's it. Are your thighs on fire? Yes, they are. Do I care? No, I don't. Woo! Stay on it. We have 4 more seconds. Now let's make things infinitely worse. How? Lift your heels. Ah! Unplug the block. Lower down, lower down, lower down. So I'm gonna pause right there. Oh my God. And then push your feet down. So you might be here. Block underneath the butt. Perfect. You deserve a break. Those of you who are really, really, really going for it, you're gonna take the block away and you're just gonna hover. Things are gonna go really wrong in a lot of interesting ways. Think of the poor little marshmallow minding its own business last time you made a s'more. That's all of this. These are your marshmallows and they are roasting against the wall. Can you give me 5 more breaths? Yes, you can. 4, 3, 2, oh, and then lower down. Oh, heavens. Now, soles of the feet into the block width of your choice. I'm starting like on the second, and then hug the outer edges of your feet and bring the thighs towards the floor. Yeah, so you're squeezing the block with your heels and letting the knees track down. Place your hands behind your outer hips and then shoehorn your butt cheeks back. Now imagine that you had an ornament hook in the top of the head and someone's lifting your head. That same action in bridge pose, hands onto the outer knees, coil the shoulders back. Press into the feet. Now we worked Uddiyana Bandha. We're gonna work Muladhara. Yeah. And I'll know you're squeezing. I'll know you're squeezing because your right eye will be shut, your left eye will be open, and it's gonna look like you're doing long division. 408 divided by 379, carry the 1. Are you squeezing your special parts? Everything, are you squeezing? I'm not gonna check. because it's not that type of class. Just squeeze in. You're squeezing your feet, you're squeezing in at the base of the perineum. Take the block a little bit wider. Woo! Yes, yes, I did. Too much, too soon? Don't care. Keep pulling the block in towards you, and then gently, don't be a bully on your inner thighs. Just move gently apart and scroll the shoulders back and in. Pulling the belly button up and in. Do you remember where the block was? Remember the block was here, so that's, you're lifting up and in. That's Uddiyana Bandha, and then down next to your hoo-ha if you're a girl, or hoo-hee if you're a boy. It's all in there, down in the Valentine's Day special. Yeah. Now, take the feet flat. Here we go. Walk the heels back and in. Can you crab walk up onto the wall? This time we're going to have the feet holding the block. So come until your thighs are parallel to the floor and perpendicular to the wall. Your thighs should be so strong and so parallel that if I were to balance a champagne flute on top of the quads, you wouldn't spill a drop. And it's going to be a very expensive, like a Veuve Clicquot on top of your thighs. Just to make it so much more interesting and important that you not move. Okay, here we go. Elbows into the wall, and then keep the feet flat, and then go back and forth. Let's just do 10. There's no block between the knees, but that phantom imprint, that if it were still there, you would keep the knees tracking towards the tip of the toes. Can I get 4 more? You're doing so well. I promise we're almost done. 3. Woo! Yes, it hurts. If it hurts your knees, please don't do it, right? But if you can, and you really, really want to make progress in quadriceps that nurture, support, and help your knees, you'll keep doing it. Now, keep the hands on the wall, move the hips back, stretch the legs straight. Big forward fold. Block is again in the inner arches. Bring your left hand to the block or the right ankle, right hand to the wall and twist. Come to the second side. Left hand wall, right hand outer, left ankle and twist from there. Big forward fold with the twist. So I'm getting like some type of, outer edge of serratus anterior underneath the right scapula. That's quite delicious. And then come back through. Let's just try it one more time, okay? Just one more time. Bend your knees, hold. Some sort of something is on top of the legs, right? And you just have to stay and hold. You're doing really well. Elbows into the wall, pubic bone forward, tailbone back. Pubic bone forward, tailbone back. Your pubic bone has a lot to offer your yoga practice. Does everybody know where the pubic bone is first, right? It's beneath the belly button and right on top of that bony process, okay? Some people don't know where the pubic bone is, and that makes me very sad. I want to rid the world of ignorance about the pubic bone, because the pubic bone has a lot to do with how you tilt and work your low back. 2 more times, and then hold. Here we go, guys. We're going back for the roasting the marshmallows. Fingertips forward. Heels off the floor. Lean in. Lower the block and come to squat upon it. Oh, fire. So some of you will stay on the block, and A+ for you because you're just doing an awesome job. Some of you will screw your courage to the sticking place and push the feet into the floor and then take the block away. 8 breaths. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower down. Now this time, soles of the feet together, heels moving in towards the inseam of the pants, and then slant the bricks at whatever height feels comfortable. I'm like that height, that feels good to me. And push the thighs, knees out into that brick. And feel what that does to the outer glutes. Now, some of you have the capacity, go a little lower. You might go here. And then you're pushing into those blocks. Yeah. Now keep scrubbing the shoulders back and into that back wall. Push the soles of the feet together and squeeze the outer knees into those blocks. You're doing really well. Couple more breaths here. You might take the blocks away. Be careful, you don't want to go too much if you're quite tight here. Those of you who can, maybe you use the bricks to mash down. So with each attempt, you're going to get a little more supple around the groins. And who doesn't want supple groins? I mean, supple groins stop the press. That is everything, right? So you're taking the thighs away. And are you pulling your belly button in? Yes, you are. Who's squeezing his or her special parts? Is your left eye shut now and your right eye open and you're squeezing? That's it. That's your lowest core point. That's going to keep your low back safe. And breathe. And it's also going to mean you can stand in a really long line when the bathroom line is really long. You drank too much Dr. Pepper and keep squeezing. I'm lecturing you about why this is important. You drank too much Dr. Pepper. It's a long line and you have to sit there and hold it. So this is where that comes in handy. It could also come in handy in other ways, but I want to keep this, rated G, but you have a good imagination of how you can use and squeeze into your special parts just for Valentine's Day or any day of the week, really. Okay, now bring the hands gently onto the outside of the, and close. Okay, we're gonna walk up the wall again. Here we go. So push the feet down and in. And then, pause right there. Now, some of you will be here. Elbows take the place of the block, push out with the elbows, push in with the knees. Many of you will stay here. This is a great place to stay. Some of you will push the hands into the floor, drag your right foot up, left foot up, you'll be here. My level 2, 3 is lean forward, put one foot onto the wall, other foot onto the wall. It's essentially crow pose with the feet against the wall. So much benefit now. Because you really have to pull up and in to that bandha, the Uddiyana Bandha. And then lower the left, lower the right. Big forward fold. So don't be as far away from the wall as you were on the first round. Be with the heels a little closer to the wall and then stretch forward. Hands underneath the block, blocks underneath the hands, and walk the hands forward. So some of you are quite bendy, and you have the tendency to look for a stretch by moving the hips way back. That's simply destabilizing on the attachments of your hamstrings against the ischial tuberosity. So try not to thrust your hips backwards. Just stay here. Maybe you put your elbows onto the blocks. Maybe you stack the blocks, 1 potato, 2 potato. Head on the blocks, dangle the hands down. 5 breaths here. Can you lower the block? Try, just try. Lower one of the blocks, let the head rest. Can you lower or take one of the blocks away? Try just one block. Let me see if I can do it. I don't think I have the length in my hamstrings. I don't have it, you know, and I need a quarter block there. And then release, stack the blocks over towards the right side of your mat. Okay, let me see if I can work on your tree pose. So stand onto your right leg, bend your left knee, push your left foot into the wall. And it's that same action. So you're just swinging the hips to the center of the room. It's 1:55. Do you know where your pubic bone is? Don't let it wander about smoking cigarettes behind the dumpster at 7-Eleven. Your pubic bone should be here. It has work to do. So your pubic bone is pushing, it has to close an imaginary cash register drawer. Some of you are too young and you don't even remember what a cash register is because now everything is swipe, touchless, online. There was a time when there was a thing called a cash register and your pubic bone's job was to shut. Do you need a demo? Is it confusing? So block is cash register, pubic bone. See, this is the pubic bone shutting a drawer. Okay, that's what it needs. So it needs to push forward, and then you're squeezing your pumpkins. Is this a good visual? I hope so. Tailbone. What if the tailbone closed the cash register drawer? So you're pushing back, pushing back. So that's now. I'm just going to cue you with close the cash register drawer so the butt goes back. Close the cash register drawer. The pubic bone goes forward. Okay. Does that make sense? Okay. So here we go. Left foot on the wall. Who's closing the cash register door? Pubic bone. Who's closing the cash register door? Tailbone. So bring yourself all the way away from the wall and all the way up from the way. So you're kind of folding yourself forward and pushing back with that leg. Does that make sense? So you're really pushing it. Come onto the ball of the left foot. And then lean into the center. See if you can hold yourself. So this is everything we worked on that left quad, right? So you're pushing in. Good. Nice. Excellent job. Excellent job. Switch feet. Left foot down. Lean into the wall. Right foot up and back. So first keep the foot flat. And then you're just giving me a couple of little back and forth. Keep your elbows on the wall for the first couple. And then take away. Who's closing the cash register drawer? Pubic bone. Pubic bone is pushing forward and then going back. Yeah. And push, and then tailbone closes, and then push. Now this is kind of precarious because you're throwing yourself in and out of that balance. Couple more. Do you feel it on your left leg? I hope so, because the left leg is the only thing holding you up besides the ball of the right foot into the wall. So take just the ball of the right foot and lift the heel up. Let me see if we can get a little bit of hamstringing, a little bit of the back of the leg. Couple more. Excellent job there. Now, stand on the left leg. Turn sideways, bring your tree pose, so bring your right kneecap into the wall, and then pause and hold right there. So we're completely sideways. Look, I can tell, sometimes I teach and you guys do give me this number, where it looks much more like a flamingo, you know, standing on one leg. I don't want that. I want this right leg to push back. So look, it looks like I could go between two stacks of library bookshelves, right? So there, and then take your left arm up and reach the left arm to the wall, and then push the right hand to the wall and twist. So you're giving me that big opening, unzipping into the left side. Now remember what this feels like. Remember what this feels like. Step on out. Face the camera, face forward again. Left leg is down, tree pose, same side, right heel high in our left side. But look, I gave myself like a foot or like half a foot from the wall. Hold onto your inner right leg, lift your left arm up and lean to the right with the left hand. So this is the same thing we just did on the left leg with the right knee against the wall, but now there's no support. You're just going to the right with the left hand, going to the right with the right knee, but the left hip is going to the side. So the left hip is closing the calf register drawer. Good. Now remember this lean, remember this, step out. Let's try this again. Stand on the left leg, place your right kneecap against the wall, hug up in through and go there. Right hand wall, left hand wall, and then turn your left hand back, right hand forward. From here, ankle to knee pose, right ankle, left knee, hips back. So this is why we worked on that Utkatasana. This is why we were moving that heel back. Right hand's gonna stay, left hand's gonna come forward from there. Guys, Uddiyana Bandha. So lift up and in. There's that block. Remember, it was doing the Heimlich maneuver on you. Left hand holds pinky side of right foot. Kick the right foot forward. Place the right ankle on the wall. Bring your left hand around and twist. I'm sorry, your right hand around and twist. So you're in this twisted triangle, twisted hand to foot pose. I'm holding onto the wall, guys. This is not about balance. This is about you getting good at stretching and stabilizing into the standing left leg. We're here for 4 more breaths. Woo! Hold on to it. Maybe your right ear goes to the wall. Maybe your left ear goes to the wall. And then release. Now, the standing leg is roasted. We need to release it. So step onto the right foot, move a little away from the wall, bring the left heel into the left glute. Right hand block, left foot wall. So here you are. Does this look familiar? This foot is pushing into the wall the same way it was earlier. Stay here, you're perfect. I'm just gonna show you. That's why, guys, that's why I had you pushing into that left leg. It was all coming to see my devious plan. It's all coming together so lovely. So this is Chakrasana, sugarcane. You're pushing into that foot, that left foot, and you're opening into it. Now, stay here. Lower the block that's in the right hand. Level 1, stay. You're good. Level 2, 3 is lower the block. You see where this is going. Lower or take the block away. Now, come onto fingertips. Pedipons. Left hand holds that block. Right hand is going to reach around and capture. Right hand, left foot. Left hand block and turn. This is that leaning triangle. Do you notice how you've already done this pose? In a different plane, you're turning sideways. Activate your left quad. Where's your pubic bone? Keep scooping up and in and turning the left ribs to the wall, left hand to the block. We'll be here for 5, 4. Woo! This is a lot. Don't move. Do not move. Stay in it. 3. Breathe fire. 2. And then mercifully release. Who needs a stretch? Left hip does. Left hip. So turn. Awkward chair pose facing, oh my gosh, facing the back to the wall. Oh gosh. And just hang out here. How are you doing? Are you dying yet? Couple more breaths. I know. I can hear you cursing me out. I know, it hurts a lot, but it has to be done. Okay, okay. Okay, that was super good. You did really well, Okay, so let's stand now on the right foot. Left foot is into the wall, and just give me a couple of those. Who's closing the cash register drawer? Mr. or Mrs. Pubic Bone. Nothing beneath the pubic bone. It's not that type of, it's not that. We don't want that to close the cash register drawer. That could actually get caught in the drawer if you have dangly bits, and that's never a good look. We want to just push with the pubic bone. Does that make sense? Okay. Then you're finding me a tree pose, turning so that the right foot is out to the side, left knee into the wall. Go there. Now look, is my left knee moving forward? No, my left knee is completely into the wall, flush with the wall, and look, you can't see the knee moving forward. So it's as if you're going in between two planes of glass. Left hand wall, right hand wall, and lean, and start to turn. So this is going to be important when we get to that twisting hand to foot pose. So turn, bring your left shoulder, left arm to the wall, right arm down, and lean. So here's that leaning tree shape. Feel what that does. Remember that. Come back. Stand with your back against the wall, right foot down, left heel high, inner right thigh. Go there. Hold on to it. Stretch your right arm up. Take your right arm over to the left. Right arm to the left, right hips to the right, left knee to the left, and then turn your side. Good. Now remember this shape. We're going to see it again. So come back through, turn sideways. Right leg down, left heel up and in. And then find that leaning twist. Okay. Now from here, let me get my blocks ready. I forgot those. So the blocks have to be ready to welcome us. So I forgot, so stack your blocks there. There we go. So here we are in that tree pose with the right arm up, left hand to the wall. Funky tree, left ankle, right knee, figure four. Stick the butt back and feel what this feels like. Okay, so the left elbow's there. Hold on to, use your right hand to hold your left foot. Bring your left hand around, keep your foot, and then take your left hand to, and maybe either the left ear or the right ear. We're here for 5 breaths. Now I'm leaning on the wall. Guys, I'm not balancing. This takes the balance out of the equation and makes it a really interesting stretch in your left hamstring. We're here for 5 more breaths. 4, 3, start your ujjayi if you have that practice. 2, 2.5, 2.25. Imagine your camera got stuck and you're just going to stay here just a little bit. This is the way we almost never work, right? So the right leg is really, really, really desultory. It's just grumpy. So you're finding that twist. Couple more breaths here. Stay with it. Twist and twist. Look over that shoulder. And then mercifully, stand down on the left. Bring the right heel into the glute. Sugarcane pose, chakrasana. I need to come a little bit away from the wall because I'm going to really lean into the wall. Does that make sense? So you're pushing into the block with the left hand. Left leg is down. Stay there. Now play with the block height. So this is the height 1. My new kids, you're turning your right shoulder back. So this is opening into, who's the boss of this pose? If you said pubic bone, you're gonna get a special I love you Valentine's Day treat, because your pubic bone is kind of moving forward and your tailbone is going down. Lower the brick underneath the left hand. And then just stay. Don't move. Everything is like a chihuahua. It's like chocolate chipotle. It's like fire here, but just ignore it. Left hand lowers the block again. Some of you will stay anywhere along that junction. Take the block away, come on the fingertips. Woo! Lean to the side, take your right hand up and over to the block at the highest height. Now, right hand block, left hand reaches for back. Left hand finds back right ankle and turn your shoulder. This is how I cheat my way into a pose. Oh my gosh, my right quad is like trembling. This is how I cheat my way into a pose called super soldier. Do you feel something yummy opening into your right rib cage? Yeah, you do. Guys, you're doing so well. Please don't be lazy. Please don't come out of the pose. Nobody likes laziness. They like it. Good. And then, oh my God, that was hard. Ugh. Okay, let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got. Butt to the wall, ankle to knee. Ho, 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 ho. Oh, heavens. That is something else. Wasn't that like, didn't that feel kind of good in a weird, sick, twisted way? I'm hoping. If not, I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, go ahead and get some stupid candy, chocolate and roses. But if you do this sequence, you're gonna have a pubic bone that can close a cash register door, order takeout. Your pubic bone will be unstoppable, and your hips as well. Right foot down, bend your knees, and hold. Guys, you did so well. Can you just stay here for like a couple more breaths? Everything should feel reupholstered. Who remembers the block between the legs? Do you remember that one? Should we put the block back? Yeah, why not? Let's put the block back just in case you forgot, okay? And you're squeezing in. Which villain was it? Was it Xena on the top? Which Bond girl could squeeze and choke someone to death between her legs? That's a resume booster. Nobody cares if you can, you know, code or do an Excel spreadsheet, but if you can squeeze your legs together and cut someone's ear off, I mean, this is such a valuable skill. Am I right? Of course I'm right. Pubic bone forward, pubic bone back. 4 more, we're almost done. 3, sound effects optional, 2, and then straighten the legs, move the hips back, forward fold, and then take the block away. Come for that squat against the block. Elbows into inner knees. Prying the knees apart, bringing your chest down. Garland pose, maybe wrapping the knuckles towards the floor, dropping the head. Guys, you did really well. Let's do some Supta Baddha Konasana. So come take the block away. Turn your right or left hip to the wall. And then swing your legs up. Let's try it from a different plane, okay? So you're completely flush with the wall. Bend your knees, bring the heels into the glutes and take the thighs apart. Just feel what it does when you have a different angle of the back. Couple of breaths here. Shoulders into the floor. Press the feet. Lift up. Lower down. Now, if you have neck stuff, if your vertebrae in your neck are tender, don't lift up very high. In fact, don't lift up too high because you're pretty close to the wall. Just a couple, using the triceps, using the elbows up and down. And then one more hip stretch, whichever foot you can do. Bring in, and then just kind of lift up, and then lower the heel down and hug it. Big opening on that hip. Let the feet go towards that one side or the other, and then reach and twist. So this is big opening on that top hip leg. Maybe you bring the thigh into the chest, maybe you push it away. Both have value. Come back, plant, elbows into the floor, lift up. So don't lift very high, but this is the same thing we just did. Let's go ankle to knee pose, second side. Push into the wall, then lower the hips down, bring the heel closer in, and then coax the kneecap out to the side. So you're gonna feel some really yummy, interesting outer edge of that top hip, hamstring stretch. Then from here, guide yourself sideways, one foot to the floor, other arm to the side. Which is more interesting, forward or forward to you or forward away from you towards the wall? And then from here, legs up. Eyes closed, relax, legs up the wall pose. Stay in the legs up the wall pose. Just stay in that pose and just relax there. And as you relax in legs up the wall pose, just close the eyes and breathe. And let your eyelids become very heavy. It's almost as if you're drifting off to sleep. And when the eyelids become very heavy, then relax the little muscles along the base of the eyelashes. And then allow the eyes, the eyeballs to relax in the eye socket. From the center of the nose to the corners of the eyes, relax. And from the corners of the eyes to the outer ears, completely relax the face. Soften the insides of your mouth by relaxing and swallowing the throat so that your neck softens. And stay here with the breath and let it be as though you are withdrawing all of your senses into a sensory deprivation chamber. Is there the sound of an airplane going overhead? Focus on that sound and then gently reel in your sense of hearing. Send blessings of good travel to the passengers on that plane. They might never know you're doing it, but just soften your mind and pull your thoughts in and then relax your sense of hearing. Now become aware, cool afternoon or morning air going in through the nostrils, warm air coming out. Soften and dial back on your sense of smell. Listen, I want you to relax this whole matrix of sinus, eyes, skull, throat. And then cue yourself to the temperature in the room where you are. And feel the cool or warm air just drifting over the bridge of your nose, perhaps your arms, and stay in legs at the wall pose and just relax. So many of us are good at going from 0 to 60, but can you pull yourself off of that ledge and use your relaxation pose to give you a different relationship with quieting the mind, quieting the body, and giving yourself an unplug from that fight, flight, freeze, or faint that is so prevalent today. It's good to go fast, but can you go slow? Can you go slowly? That's really where your immune system, the healing begins, right? And stay here and stay with the breath. Your breath is your constant companion. So just this breath and focus. And then again, deep inhalation and just this breath. Audible sigh. Exhale. And then stay here for as long as you are able. Waves of relaxation going across the shoulders, from the shoulders to the back, to the low back. Your legs are up to the wall and you're getting that benefit of relaxing and allowing gravity to do its job of rinsing the tiny veins in the legs. This is good for digestion, legs up the wall. It's good for swollen feet or ankles. This pose, legs up the wall pose, I would offer to you if you only have 2 minutes to just recharge. 3 minutes, just legs up the wall, close the eyes. It has been an absolute privilege and a pleasure to share my practice with you. Please come again, omyogadiva.com/Zoom. Come into a class whenever you want. I would love to have you. And in that platform, I don't just bark out commands. I'm really focusing on your practice and giving you loving, anatomically inspired, and interesting alignment cues to make you smarter, and also to help you use your pubic bone for good. That's my goal in life. Excellent job, guys. Namaste. Thank you. Bye.